Welcome back to another edition of Sports Monday. I am Paul Lopez. We have a lot to present to you tonight, from cycling to a controversial start to the Belize Elite Basketball League, and then on to some highlights from the Central Secondary School Sporting Association's 2023 football tournament. So folks, let us get right into what we have prepared for you tonight, starting with our player profile for this week. We talked with one of Belize's most promising cyclists, Derrick Chavarria, who won the Krem's New Year's Day Cycling Classic for 2023. Here's that story. Following in the path of his father, 1981 cross-country runner-up Jocelyn Chavarria Sr., and his brother, the 2015 Caribbean Cycling Championship U23 bronze medalist Jocelyn Chavarria Jr., 19-year-old Georgeville resident Derrick Chavarria is on pace to become one of the region's top cyclists. Chavarria is currently pursuing a degree at Lees-McRae College in North Carolina.
I began cycling it was actually my brother who got me into the sport, and that was in 2011. I was 8 years old, and he just pretty much invited me on rides, and he built up a bike for me, and I just started ride casually. I never had no intentions like racing as yet, but as time progressed, I started to notice that my fitness increased, and my brother just try out a race, and so you go. And now we're here.
Chavarria has dominated several races both locally and regionally. His most recent win was the Krem's New Year Cycling Classic, and in October 2021, the young athlete won the Junior Caribbean Cycling Championship in the Dominican Republic.
The point where I noticed that I started having enough fitness and like, yes, I could be able to be a top competitor was when I was in the youth category, and that's like when I just entered into youth, kind of leaving and transitioning into a junior. I was 15, 16, and I was like around the top junior guys at the time. I was in the breakaway with them. I was coming around, working together and all that sort of stuff. I mean, down the line, they ended up letting me go, but the whole point is that for me, knowing where I came from so far, just straight up getting dropped as the race start to then being in breakaways, I saw progress, and that's kind of like a key factor that kept me going.
Chavarria received a big break at the start of 2022 when Lees-McRae College awarded him a double scholarship for their 2022 fall semester.
I got the opportunity from the college to attend this on a double scholarship, which is academic and a cycling scholarship, which significantly helped me in cutting down some costs. And the journey from then, receiving all the support from a bunch of huge businesses and people, the cycling community, I managed to be here for the first year. Right now, the main problem for me is finance. I'm doing my part out here. I'm training, I'm studying, I'm making sure that everything gets done. But the main problem right now is just pretty much getting money to be out here. So,
what type of expenses are we looking at?
Well, for a semester, the school charges a little bit over 20,000 US dollars, and my one of my scholarship cuts down $9,000 from that.
The Communication Arts and Design major has had to rely on fundraising initiatives to support his education. He says his mother does her part by organizing weekly barbecue sales and other events. Notwithstanding their efforts to continue studying and training overseas, this student athlete must continue to raise the necessary funds to pay his school fees.
Ideally, being out here was like a stepping stone of me getting closer towards what I've always wanted to do, and that is to participate and like be a rider in World Tour, which is where you see all the big names such as Peter Sagan, Mark Cavendish, and those guys. That's like the ultimate goal that I wish to accomplish someday.
And While we talk cycling, we would also like to send out a huge congratulations to Wasani Castro. Over the weekend, news surfaced that Castro has signed a contract to ride for the New Haven Angels out of New Haven, Connecticut. That is a big move. Another Belize athlete is on the rise. And now for some basketball. The Belize Elite Basketball League hosted its second week of matchups this past weekend. The Belize Hurricanes played its first match home for the season against the San Pedro Tiger Sharks. The Belmopan Tigers took on the Belize City Defenders in Belmopan. The Western Ballers went up against Punta Gorda Panthers in San Ignacio, and the Griga Dream Ballers played the Orange Walk Running Rebels at home in Dangriga. We begin with the matchup against the Hurricanes and the Tiger Sharks on Friday night inside the Belize City Civic Center. The first quarter of that game ended with Tiger Sharks on top. The story here is what happened inside the Civic at the top of the second quarter. In the first instance, a referee ejected Rico Black, the San Pedro Tiger Sharks coach, from the match after a player on the bench began using obscene language. In frustration, Black walked off the floor, prompting his players to do the same. While that was happening, Alex Carcamo, a Belize Hurricanes player, was seen making his way over to the referees, where a conversation ensued. That then led to Carcamo being ejected from the game. He had to be restrained and escorted off the basketball court by a group of men, including police officers, after he attempted to attack one of the referees. But we spoke to Carcamo after the incident.
What had happened was somebody from the Tiger Sharks bench jumped up and I guess cursed. And so that got Rico Black his first technical. And then Rico actually got a technical. But what he didn't realize is, the rule in FIBA is when you get a technical on the bench, it automatically goes to the coach. And I think he finally realized that now. My biggest thing was Rico was trying to walk off the floor. Too many fans paid too much money to just, let him and his team walk off. So I'm really good friends with Rico. I tried to tell Rico, don't do this. That's not the proper thing to do. Then I went over to the ref and I told him, I said, ref, you got to let us play. It's not about you. These fans didn't come to see you guys. They came to see us. And if us as players can't play and coaches can't coach, then you're making the game about you at the end of the day. This is what I said. I didn't curse at the ref. I didn't say anything. Now, if the ref would have gave me a tech, me being as professional as I am, I know to back off because I don't want to get another check. That wasn't the case. If we look at the tapes, I never received any kind of warning. All he did was just kick me out of the game. And in my 18 years of playing, I've never had this happen. I've been kicked out for a technical and a technical, but not just throw your arms up with no explanation and then just kick me out. And then it's not justifiable, but the referee gave me this smirk and I felt like it was more personal. And then that's when I lost it. And again, things happen. I'm pretty sure you've probably had something that you wish you could take back. And this is one thing that I wish I could take back, but I can't. All I can do is just learn from it and, like I said, take whatever comes to me.
When the match resumed, Belize Hurricanes would go on to defeat the San Pedro Tiger Sharks by 105 to 68 points. That's a blowout, folks. The game between Griga Dream Ballers and the Orange Walk Running Rebels was also action-packed. Dream Ballers Devon Campbell led his team to victory, scoring 20 points that night. But this one was a nail-biter. With only 24 seconds left in the game, the match was tied at 79 apiece. Dream Ballers was in possession of the ball. It was this massive three-point play that took the team to their first victory of the season. In Belmopan, the Belize City Defenders defeated the Belmopan Tigers 91 to 80 points. And in San Ignacio, the Western Ballers dominated Punta Gorda Panthers with a final score of 97 to 77. The B.E.B.L continues this coming weekend. Now moving on to some secondary school football. The Central Secondary School Sports Association's 2023 football tournament is about to come to a close. On Thursday, the St. Catherine's Academy girls will play the Wesley's Junior College girls for the first place in the female category. And in the male category, Excelsior High School will take on Maud Williams for first place. On Friday, SCA girls played against Anglican College Cathedral girls in the semifinals and won 3-0. Excelsior's male team took on Sadie Vernon and won that match 3-1. We say best of luck to all these players that have shown us they have what it takes to be in the Final Four. That is all we have for you in this week's edition of Sports Monday. Until next week, thanks for joining us.